Hey guys, I will be here in 2 minutes. You know that I'm always fashionably late. Hello, Joan. Well, hey girl,
Hey,
you
hey.
guys want me to sing you a song this morning? Probably not. Joan E., I was just getting caught up on this case. Yeah, this case is we're going to just kind of talk about what we know and we're going to see what we all think. I've already got my little feelings about things. Let me find my chat. How are you, Miss Iconic?
I am good. I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing, so I might drop out and drop back in.
How's that? Is that better?
No, it might just be me.
All right. Let me find my chat. All right, let's wait a couple minutes, see if we can get some more people in here. Joan, what's the girl sleeping bag? Yeah, Joan, we're gonna go over what's going on in the latest update on Cleo. I got some maps and stuff. Welcome back.
Thank you. That's much better.
Yeah, you definitely sound much louder. There you go. We're just going to wait a couple minutes, see if we can get some more people in here. I hope everyone is kind of dying down on the Brian Laundrie Gabby situation. Because I don't think, guys, we're going to get anything else out of that case. The only thing we can pray for is that, like I've always believed, I believe that, like I've told Iconic and H Bird and all of them, I think that there is pages and pages and pages of notes in that notebook.
Now, will we get to read those pages? That's the question.
Hey, Sybil and Style, Zelda. Well, I did hear that Josh said that I thought that if it was all that it might come out because of the case being closed. If the case goes, it gets closed or something like that. We're gonna look into that Sybil and Style. I really have looked into this a little bit. People were like touch on Cleo, so I gathered some information over the last 2 days. I mean, something's a little fishy with me, but I do not know how they work in Australia regarding if you're camping and then you go back to check to see if the child was being stalked. I found that a little strange. Matt, we're not talking about him today. The poor guy is nothing but an alligator fart. It's sad. The whole situation is sad. Nobody won, and two families lost their children at a completely unnecessary it's just an ugly situation with way too many what ifs. There were so many what ifs.
And so much hindsight.
Let's see what Joan. Yeah, we're just gonna wait a couple minutes before we dig into Cleo. I'm gonna do about an hour live today. Brian Laundrie, since you brought it up, what kind of position did Roberta have when working as a clerk in Suffolk County? She, what was it that she worked for the city, the water company,
Yeah.
the water company. Alligator fart. Zelda, I have been saying the day that Brian went into that reserve and didn't return that he was never coming out of there alive. It was from day one I knew, and people told me, no, he's too much of a coward to kill himself. No, he is such a coward that he's going to kill himself. That was my own opinion. Iconic went back and forth. Is he alive? Is he hanging out in the
Hmm.
bushes? I said, girl, you have your own thoughts. That's what I love about this group. We can think what we want, and nobody has to be like, I can't stand you. How in the world can you possibly think that?
If anything,
Because I am not a clone and I have my own mind.
I like bouncing theories back and forth. It helps me kind of grow.
Exactly. Zelda. Oh, karma, but lol, alligator fart.
I think you were hoping for Gummy Bear.
Well, he might have been a little bit of a gummy bear, maybe like after he did what he did or however it happened. Maybe he was like I still picture an alligator and a hog having a fight with him. Zelda, I felt the same way knowing he'd get caught, didn't want living in prison like animals. He couldn't, yeah, I don't think he could face his family and face Gabby's family of what happened. I just think it's just completely a sad situation across the board. Joan. All right, guys, let's see what's going on with little Chloe. What are you guys' initial thoughts on what happened to little Chloe? You guys think that she was kidnapped out of her tent in the middle of the night in a sleeping bag?
I do not.
I can't
I
agree
can
with that
sway,
either.
but I don't think so right now.
Matt, I love you to death, but we all know Brian's in Moab, and we're not going to discuss Brian and Enton, and we're talking about Cleo today. I'm not trying to sound mean. I am actually done with the Brian laundry case. There's nothing that can be done. We cannot bring Gabby back. We cannot bring Brian back. Unfortunately, his parents were really shitty for not answering Gabby's family. But at the end of the day, I do not think, and I will not ever think that Brian came home and said, "Hey, mom and dad, I killed Gabby." I think he lied to them. I think he said they had a fight. He drove the van back. She might have flown back into New York. And then once the phone call started, he knew it was time to start planning his demise. Your thoughts, Iconic?
Well, I think if he's there for the Brian Laundrie situation, I don't know what more can come out of that. And if he's there because of Crystal and Kylan, I still don't see a connection. So, all in all, I just don't really understand why we're going back to Moab.
How many of you in this chat put a 1 if you think that Brian had anything to do with Crystal and Kylan's death? Put a 2 in the chat if you think absolutely not. It was a coincidence that they were in the same place at the same time. You don't think he had anything to do with it?
I do not.
Because we have to go ahead.
I don't believe in coincidences, but I have to put that down this time and say I really just think that's what this is.
Well, the only thing that I think is far-fetched about that whole entire thing is you have to remember, they got pulled over in Moab and on the 12th. That was when all of that camera footage from the cops were there. The 13th, the 2 girls, and remember, Kylan was not working at the 12th at the Moonflower that day. So on the 13th, the 2 girls were seen at Woody's having a great time. After the 13th, they were never seen again. So Brian and them were camping near these girls for like 5 days. Remember, though, they didn't have a van. They had a car, and he was weird, and they were camping right on top of them.
You still have to put that psycho out there, though. I mean, it's just as likely that he did it, and I'm still not even sure that he's even connected.
Hi, AVH and Ernie. Ernie, I'm going to get yelled at for that. Ernie, how do you say that name? Rebecca. Hi, Grammy. Hi, Carpe.
You think Brian's still alive?
Wait, who thinks Brian's still alive? Oh, Grammy H. And you know what? That's what's great about all of us having our own opinions. Do I think that you're crazy for thinking that? Absolutely not. That's your opinion. I think he's a gator fart. I'm going to be nice. I really feel bad.
Yeah, that's another thing, Joan. The 2 women were essayed, so what would have driven Brian to do that if that was going to happen?
Oh, exactly. And if Brian flew out on the 18th, right? Was the 18th he flew back to Florida?
Don't ask me on the dates at this time. It's all become a blur.
I knew it was something around. Yeah, he flew out the day that the girls were found, or was it the day after? It was like somewhere that day or the day after.
I thought they were found on the 19th for some reason.
The girls were found on the 18th. They were last seen on the 13th, and Cindy Sue found them at the campground on the 18th, the day that Brian supposedly flew out. 17 to the 25th, absolutely. And they were found on the 18th. So the 17th, that's right. He flew out the day after they were found. That's correct. No, the day before they were found. How rude is that rooster? Gosh. What did you say, huh, Carpe Diem? We're talking about Brian for a few minutes because we all just can't seem to get enough of him. How do you guys think that Brian deserves to have a little cross out there where he was found, or do you not think he deserves? Excuse me, I'm talking, Mr. Rooster.
I have a lot of friends on both sides of the fence in the community circuit, I guess you could say. Some that are very much for the victims and some that stick up for the perpetrators, I guess you could say. I'm not that person. I might go check out the scene, but I don't think I would leave anything for the person who committed something.
No cross because he was never found there. You don't think so, Joan? Yeah, everyone has a lot of mixed emotions on Brian Laundrie.
Carpe, I don't understand how they mistake him and Roberta.
Oh, let me show you the picture. Let me show you guys the picture of how they mistake him. I got a great picture of Mama wearing a beard. Hang on a second. Okay, let me show this one picture, guys, and let's get into Chloe. I really want to talk about Chloe. But let me show you the picture of where did I put that? This one. You can Oh gosh, you can't make it up. I don't know who made this picture, but it was sent to me from Hummingbird.
Well, there you go. It's clear cut right there.
Look.
I don't know why I never looked closer. It's a very good resemblance.
I agree with you, Joan E. Everybody failed Gabby in this case. You're absolutely correct. If we could go back and count all the what ifs and what if she didn't do that, what if this was different, what if her dad would have heard something while she was in Salt Lake, what if he would have went out and got her. Unfortunately, we can't change that. So look at Mama looking like Brian Laundrie. You can't make it up. That's great right there. Hello, Roberta. You made it, CJ? Oh, hello, CJ. Oh, you made it to the live. Hi, JS. Sibyllin style. Hey, Matt, do you think she looks hot with a beard? All right, that was funny though. And he says, all I'm gonna say is we know where Brian's at. And not today, buddy.
Aged like milk.
All right, let's get into Chloe. Let's get into this little baby girl. Cleo. I keep calling her Chloe. I'm gonna get it right. But we don't have any updates on Cassidy, guys. Sheriff Rice has not gotten back to me, but we are going to give him another call after this live and see what's going on with if they figured out who Cassidy's. Wait a second. Let's only talk about one thing with Cassidy and then let's jump into Cleo. Did you guys hear that when James Phelps and Norton were arrested the day they kicked down the door and they were supposedly eating a sandwich and they said that they served their neighbors some ribs? Somebody said that Cassidy's head was sitting on the couch. Did anybody hear that?
I've been scouring everything. I didn't find that anywhere. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, girl, if that is the see, I can't believe that because if that was the case, I think they would have already have known that it was Cassidy. I think
I
that was
agree.
just yeah, I think that was just a really sick comment. Okay, let's get into the Cleo story, guys. I want to start off with this prayer visual. And I'm not really going to watch videos or listen. I want to touch on the parents' latest interview. I want to listen to Chloe's voice at the CCTV at the campground. And then I want to talk on the fact that they did say that they went back to Cleo's house. They did major fingerprinting, thinking that maybe somebody was stalking the baby on the outside. But they confirm in this article that there was absolutely nobody at the house stalking. She's so cute, too. And we do know that the father, her mom's boyfriend, is Cleo's stepfather. And I don't know, he just rubs me the wrong way. JS says that cops were taking campfire samples that indicates they suspect death prior to camping. Yeah, this is it. I haven't really dug into it, but we've dug into it for the couple of days. So really, I'm just going to. This article right here basically sums up the whole entire thing. I've got the new interview with the mom.
CJ, I was just thinking the same thing about the body language. No good.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the newest video on the parents with their body language. But this article right here was out October 28th. I'm in the future. Girl, we are in the future right now. Photos online of campfire samples. Yes, JS, I've seen that. So this is out. This is going to be out tomorrow, October 28th.
Mm.
All right, girl, I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to let you read a little bit of this, okay?
Okay.
I might have to cough. My rib is starting to hurt.
Okay. A candlelight vigil has been held for missing 4-year-old Cleo Smith, who went missing from a camp trip with her family in remote Western Australia. Cleo was reported missing over a week ago after she disappeared from the Blowholes Campground, where she was camping with her family. A vigil was held for community members on Sunday night by the Church of Christ, Carnarvon. A message book was left for people to write down messages and love and support for Cleo's family, with the book to be passed on to them. It came after a significant development in the police search, with investigators revealing on Sunday they had been tipped off about a car seen leaving the area shortly after Cleo was snatched from her family's tent at the remote campsite. Detective Superintendent Rod Wild of the Major Crime Division told reporters Sunday that a pair traveling together along the Northwest Coastal Highway saw a car turn off Blowholes Road toward Carnarvon between 3 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. last Saturday. Cleo's family was staying at the coastal Blowholes with family or campground at Macleod, which is accessed via the same road.
Okay, stop for 1 second. So let me just show you real quick. So when they came off of the Blowhole Road, do you remember the Blowholes Road? It was a little bit north. Hang on 1 second. So Blowholes Road. Yeah. So here's the Blowholes Road. So if they were coming onto Blowholes Road, making a left coming towards the Carnarvon, you said?
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Yeah, so they came out of Blowholes Road, which is right about there, and they came down, and here is Carnarvon. Carnarvon.
Carnarvon. It's hard to say.
Yep. Because the campground, the Quabba Blowholes, is right here on the coast. Okay, let me go back to the article. Oh, wrong one. And we are right here, right, with the girl.
The girl was seen about 1:30 a.m. when she asked for water and reported and was reported missing about 6 a.m. We're hoping that the person or the persons that were in the vehicle come forward and make themselves known to police so we can speak to them, Wild said. The witnesses were unable to give a detailed description of the car and how many people were inside. We believe it's a passenger vehicle. All that At that time of night, it's very dark out there, Inspector Wild said. We want to speak to the driver and persons, if there were more than one person in that vehicle, to establish exactly what was going on and what they were doing. After a week of searching the rugged terrain for Cleo, police confirmed it was likely she had been abducted from the tent. The tent had been zipped open higher than she could have reached, and her sleeping bag was also missing. While the massive land, air, and sea search around the campsite is over, locals and holidaymakers have been urged to remain on the lookout. Detectives say there are multiple witnesses from the crime scene who have not yet come forward, believing people were staying at the campsite who had not identified themselves. They are urging mysterious campers to make contact. A $1 million reward has been offered for any information that helps solve the case, and the police have asked for any dash cam, security footage, or photos that could help with the investigation. Someone does know something about this, Chris Dawson told the reporters on Sunday. Cleo just can't simply disappear from the tent without a third party, another person, or persons knowing. If you know or suspect someone you think that their behavior has changed since the weekend, then bring the information forward. That's the sort of information that might crack open this case. He said there is no information pointing to Cleo having been taken out of WA. What is that?
Western Australia.
Okay, but the police were not ruling anything out. We're doing everything we can, he said. Western Australia is the largest police jurisdiction by landmass in the world, so it is very, very difficult, or very, very large geographic area, but at the same time, we have very strict border controls in place for now over 18 months. So I'm confident that we have the main thoroughfares thoroughly controlled, and that's what's kept COVID out.
Yes, Yes, it's been very strict, I hear, with crossing the states with the COVID in Australia. So this is the campground, and we'll look at all those in a minute. So let's just go ahead and get this latest out.
But at the same time, it's a very large area, and that's why we want the community's assistance. On Saturday, police secured the exterior of the family's Carnarvon house, including dusting windowsills for fingerprints, in a bid to find any evidence of possible suspects lurking in the area in the days leading up to Cleo's disappearance. Superintendent Wild said that was a standard procedure for such an investigation, and it was believed her abduction was opportunistic. He said hundreds of calls about the case have been made to Crime Stoppers. We have 100 officers working on this, he said.
See, I don't agree with that. I think something's fishy right off the bat. If you are camping at a campground and you are convinced that that's where your daughter went missing, and then there was a stalker at the house that was stalking this little baby and then followed them all the way to the campground, something like that does not sit well with me. Guys, I'm going to look at your comments in 1 second. I cannot see them because I am off the screen.
Asked if he believed Cleo was still alive, Superintendent Wild replied, "We're hopeful."
And that's it for that article.
I think we're all very hopeful.
Very hopeful. But let me see one thing let me read where he said. So then we got the $1 million Cleo Smith reward lures bounty hunters to search for the 4-year-old missing from Blowholes campsite. This is 11 hours ago. And I'm not going to keep repeating stuff. I just want to get into, I don't want to repeat what she just said, but they do say, he said that police searches of the area had found nothing to conclude she had simply wandered off, but there was still a lot of land out there to cover. They're looking for a vehicle. Acting Commissioner Blanche said police remained focused on trying to find a vehicle seen driving out of the campsite at about 3 a.m. on the day Cleo vanished. Officers have been going through footage captured by CCTV along the coastal highway where the vehicle was seen and in areas to the south. That means shops, houses, everything else to corroborate what was witness observations of a vehicle at that time on the highway, he said. It's not to say that the person it's not to say that it is the person, but certainly driving around at 3 a.m. coming out of where pique our interest. Okay, 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, they said that they didn't find any evidence that she was being stalked at her house. Okay, so here it is. So meanwhile, Commissioner Blanche said an extensive search of Cleo's family home in Carnarvon, carried out by detectives over several hours, was standard practice. How is that standard practice? To go back to the like, why would you even think that? Okay, let's go back. Maybe somebody was stalking her at the house and then decided what to follow her to the campsite.
Where does that theory even come from?
I don't know. Let me
And
look
if
at
they have
some.
footage of her at the campsite, then why are we wondering if she was at the house?
Yeah, and so the parents are cooperating. We have worked very closely with them. They've let us into their home and they've let us into their car, their phones, everything. That is not a normal part of investigations, and we must follow it through thoroughly. Our job is to eliminate everyone who was at the campsite, and that really is the focus of the investigation at the moment. I find that kind of, I mean, maybe that's how they do it in Australia. Let me look at comments real quick. Carpe, why wouldn't the parents sleep by the entry? Why put the children there? Strange.
That's a great question, considering they were talking about all of the things that could have happened out there. I mean, they sound like they've been camping a time or two before.
Joan E's asking, and who reported this stalker theory at the house? I mean, what person in the family unit made mention of this to begin with? They're saying that that's just protocol, which I find kind of strange, but maybe that's how they do things over there.
Another thought is, why was she sleeping closer to the entry? If they went to sleep after her, wouldn't they put her kind of farther back in the tent? That would be my thinking.
Yeah, why would you have to put the child in the tent and then if you guys want to go hang out outside, you got to keep walking over the child?
It's the little things.
But we all know because of the zipper. Let's get to what they said about the zipper. Let me find that real quick. Like they said that where the zipper was, there was no way that she could have gotten out of that tent by herself. She wasn't tall enough to pull that zipper.
Matt's asking how far the house is from the campsite.
Matt, I do not know because I know that they live in what's it called, Macleod, and they claim that it's about what was it, 55 kilometers?
You had me look
About
up between 50 and 70.
all right, Matt. So let me show you. They lived over here in the Carnarvon area. That's where their house was, and they were camping up here at Quabo Blowholes. They say it's about between 50, about 49.57 kilometers. About 50 kilometers, they said. And that's where it's at, where they live. Right here. And where they were camping.
That's a very determined stalker. I would think it would be easier to just kidnap from the house rather than drive an hour and a half.
Well, they definitely ruled out there being a stalker. I have the article on one of these note cards that I say for this live because they said they went there and they ruled out any possible chance that there was somebody stalking Cleo at the house. JS set up camp in wind at sunset, new tent, sleeping bags and mattress, kitchen gazebo and kitchen with a baby. In wind and kid to bed at 8. I can multitask, but no. Something is some two-room tents have a single entry and some have a double. I don't think they've ever mentioned a double entry. They said there was one way, it was a zipper, and the zipper was at the when they showed where the zipper was, that there was no way Cleo could have pulled that zipper down. Let me find that one part of the article where they talk about the tent. And then I want to go listen because they say that you can hear Cleo's voice on a CCTV at the campsite. So if she is on voice at the campsite, well, then she was obviously there, unless they went there and left. I mean, oh, just another one. Like, why?
Grammy said that she saw that it was a 2-entry tent.
Okay. I did not see that. I just heard one zipper on one tent. Let me see exactly where I heard that at.
I agree, JS. Rolling out the stalker makes mom look guilty. And if you pair all these little weird things with her body language, just very fishy.
I have to really think that I pray that she is not covering up for her new husband, boyfriend, whatever he may be. He just seems to never make eye contact with the camera. He's always looking down or he's always looking at mom. Let's see what this is. Because, guys, we're just now digging into this. I've been, working and stuff. Uh, it's so hard being an adult some days. Mars antenna is sensing BS. My spidey sense. Yeah, I'm sensing a little BS somewhere. Okay, so supposedly, I want to find her voice clip. I couldn't find it. 1 second, guys. I want to see if she's so cute.
Yeah, she kept looking at him too during the interview.
Let me see what this is real fast. I wonder if this mentions the stalker being ruled out because this is Cleo Smith cops fear stalker planned abduction after prowling family's home for days as police searched the family house.
Searching the fence line for fingerprints. For forensics today, examining the family home of 4-year-old Cleo Smith, missing for 1 week after she disappeared in outback WA.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because every new day starts the night before.
Was that it?
Well, I mean, not verbally.
Yes, it was. That was fast. Yeah, there is a clip somewhere. I'm going to find it after I see what this says real quick about the. Okay. So this explains when she vanished. 1 second. I want to see one thing real quick. Something is so weird about this. So if there was CCTV footage at the campground, how come we don't hear her? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Here it is. One second. Trying to see if this front part right here has anything about the tent because This is all repetitive. And that's what she was wearing. We'll look at those pictures in one. God, she is so cute. All right. Let me get back here to this one. Okay. Today, the Western Australian reported that audio of Cleo was recorded on a single CCTV camera at the beach shack just 20 meters from where she was staying the day before she vanished. The surveillance device, which records audio and is in motion sensitive, is attached to the front of the building to capture footage of all those entering and leaving the shack. So if this is motion sensitive, we're not going to, and you can hear Cleo, excuse me, you're not going to see somebody walking around in the middle of the night? Girl, what am I missing?
The truth. Like Jay said, he said he was going to teach the girls to swim. Cleo was deathly scared of the ocean, according to the mom, and the other baby's only 7 months. Roaring waves in the ocean, that's where you're going to teach your kids to swim?
Forget about roaring waves in the ocean. That's like off the coast of Australia. They got sharks like the size of submarines over there. Hi, gamer guy. Hi, Wendy. Have any of you guys heard the audio? Iconic, are you on your computer?
I am not. Is my audio bad?
No, I was going to see if maybe you could find a voice clip of this her talking. I'll find it. Hang on one second. So then it says police have confirmed that the girl's voice was heard on the camera and that the force has taken copies of the footage. After examining it, they confirmed on Sunday that it showed Cleo was at the campground prior to her disappearance. So did it show her and you could hear her? Cops have also, and here is the big part right here that I found. The cops have also today ruled out that a stalker may have planned her abduction after prowling the family's home for days. No indication and no evidence that anyone was being stalked. Thank you, Matt. So the comment was made after forensic officers scoured the outside of her family's house in South Carnarvon for fingerprints in attempts to find any new evidence of her going missing 8 days ago. Department Sup Wild, who is leading the task force investigating her disappearance, said the search was not indicating her family have been stalked, nothing like it. In actual fact, if she has been taken, it's more likely to have been from a random event. See, even the way he's wording things, I'm not really on the Australian terms of some words they use and how they mean it.
Mm-hmm.
But that to me stands out as there's no one stalking the family. There's no one stalking her at the house. She didn't go missing from the house unless she was brought out of the house and whatever to the campground and taken from there. But right there, it says a lot to me. In actual fact, if she has been taken, it's more likely to have been at a random event. There is no indication and no evidence that anyone was being stalked. We just want to reassure the community that we do not believe that is the case in this instance. He also explained that officers were carrying out standard searches outside her home to cover all bases. I don't agree with that. I think they went out there. I don't know why they went out there. I don't know how the police work over there. He added it was predominantly to see if there had been any trespass or anything like that, but nothing of interest has come from that. It's just part of a thorough investigation and something that we will do in these cases. It's to gather information and eliminate certain aspects of an investigation. The bottom part, I believe. And the only thing I believe is to rule out that maybe somebody was around that house looking and peeking into the windows. So here we go. Here's about the zipper in the tent. So the $1 million reward is what did we come up with?
Like 750,000.
More than Summer Wells' reward.
Yes.
Let me go back and look at some comments real quick before I jump into this next part with the tent. Yep, they're back and forth, Matt, because what I'm starting to think is maybe Cleo was at the campsite, but maybe they just brought her to the campsite to make an appearance. Something's not right with this story. Maybe they don't want to scare them. If my kid was missing, I would be like, bring in the dogs, bring in the helicopters, bring it all in. Like, I would be tearing that place up.
Well, one thing I can say is if I were weeping on national television, I would have actual tears.
Oh, we got those. We're going to play that in a couple of minutes. We're going to play the parents. She
Dinner
went
after-
missing October 16th. 2 days after my birthday. And, I keep thinking about, when I think about this story, it reminds me so much of the Orkunts that it makes the hair on my neck stand up. You know?
Right now, I just feel like either they've done something or maybe they took her there to give her to someone. I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about this one, and I hate that.
Hey Benson, I don't think that you're going to take your child and oh my gosh, who knows though? I just don't
Just the
see that.
proximity to the water, and like everyone's saying, all of the stuff they had to do with a baby and with a 4-year-old, I don't know. It's chilling.
Let's see what JS said. Everyone's agreeing. Spot on. Even the simplest quick up tents take 2 people to set up all that equipment and watch a baby. You're correct. I mean, even the tents that we use, I mean, it's like this little thing and you got to run like 4 poles through it and bend it up and attach them to the bottom and hammer it in. Well, not hammer it in, but get the tent post in. Oh, wait a second. Hi, Riri. JS says, my daughter came up missing in 2008 at a mall in Jersey on vacation with a large group. When she went missing, I ran like hell and sent everyone split up running in every direction until security. Where's the rest of her comment? Security and she
police.
stopped.
Yeah.
And police apprehended me to start looking, and I hyperventilated at the station and started passing out. JS, I would have, if I was Summer's mother and Summer went missing in North Carolina at that area, I am telling you right now, it would look like fall because I would blowtorch those trees apart. You couldn't stop me. I would get an Escalade and I would drive over everything. Found her under 20 minutes. Yeah, that. I bet you were losing your mind. I bet you probably your heart was like coming out of your throat.
She said she still has PTSD to this day.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Hello, co-host. That's iconic. Too iconic, Benton.
Hey.
Yeah, I bet it does. How old is your child now, JS? I would have tore that place up.
Yeah, because that makes me think back to the little boy in Australia whose mom lost him in the mall, and then the 2 boys got him, and that whole situation.
I would have pulled every fire alarm in that mall. I would have been like as high as I could get, screaming like a mad woman. After they found the kid, I probably would have been Baker acted for 3 days after that. All right, let's get back into this real quick, guys. All right. So we know about the vehicle that they're looking for. So, Western Australia, we got the $1 million reward for Cleo's location. It doesn't even ask for her to be found safe for that money. You just have to know her location. Hey, Matt, can you jump on a plane to Australia? We need to find this baby. So this is just so bizarre to me. So sometime between 1:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. on Saturday, October 16th, police believe a person. I just my spidey senses, like, I can't, I feel like I'm lying when I read this. Unzipped the large family tent and took a sleeping Cleo. Not only a sleeping Cleo, but they took a sleeping Cleo in a sleeping bag, and we know how slick sleeping bags are. And what did you do? Like, pull her into the bottom of the sleeping bag and carry her out like Santa presents, like over your shoulder? Open the tent and drag her out?
I just feel like it's so quiet when you go camping. How do you not wake up? You have a baby. You're prepared to be woken up at the slightest thing.
And here's the thing. If you're camping, I don't know if if she brought a bassinet with her or how big this tent is. I'm going to look and see if I can get some pictures on this tent. But, and what did the guy do? First of all, to me, at night, a zipper in a tent to me is loud. I mean, everything's loud. But so you're telling me the parents were sleeping together and they had the baby between them. Why wouldn't the baby be in a sleeping bag with her sister so that they wouldn't roll over and squish the baby? Okay, so this is the craziest part to me too. It has been confirmed the zipper on the tent was found open to a height Cleo could not have reached, seemingly ruling out the possibility she wandered off on her own. Her red and black sleeping bag is also missing. It's an isolated spot, 30 minutes off the Northwest Coastal Highway, with only one sealed road in and out for tourists. Now, I'm going to assume that sealed road means pavement road. Is that what a sealed road in Australia means, that it's pavement?
Benton says yes.
Oh. Okay. Look at what JS just said. I've never heard this one. How did mom tuck her in her sleeping bag? Mom said in interview that at 8, Cleo went to bed. She tucked her sleeping bag snugly into her mattress. And then at 1:30, Cleo got up because she wanted some water. And that was the last time that the mom saw her until 6 a.m. when they woke up and Cleo was just gone. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, matte concrete. Okay. Yeah. Tar matte concrete. Let's go ahead and see what the rest of this little article says. And then I just want to watch the new interview on the parents. Let me get to the right article. So they're looking for dash cam footage in that area. They're interested in motel check-in, commercial areas, service stations, fast food outlets, bakeries, camping areas, and children's clothing stores, pharmaceutical stores, cosmetic stores, camping stores. And have you guys heard about the pilot? The mom has a friend that has a helicopter. She called that guy immediately. Justin Borg received a desperate call from Cleo's parents on Saturday, pleading for him to help find a missing preschooler. He quickly sent his Coral Coast helicopter service team out to search for the girl as his group of world-class musteers scoured the surrounding area waiting for police to arrive. So they spent the whole day scouring the landscape but saw nothing that shed any light on Cleo's disappearance. We were just running out the block of possibilities, asking, where do we look next, Mr. Borg told the West Australian. We were pretty sure she wasn't in the area when we conducted our search. So then he says, too, that her pink jumpsuit would have stood out starkly against the landscape. So he flew the helicopter that whole area the day that it happened and couldn't find her. And then investigators had spoken to up to 20 registered sex offenders in the Carnarvon area. So this is not even the Blowholes area where she went missing. They're searching those predators down in the area where she lives. What do you think about that?
But they've ruled out anything random or anything but something random, so I don't know.
And then
The
this
story
part.
is so fresh and it's already so crazy.
So then he says authorities were keeping an open mind in relation to whether Cleo may have been taken by someone known to her. Now they're saying Cleo may have been driven 8 hours away from the campsite where she was last seen, cops suggested as they pieced together her whereabouts. You guys, ooh, they talk so different over there. It confuses me. I'm like, is that a typo or am I like slurring?
Well, I'm confused too because in that case, how do you rule out a stalker?
You can't. And then another suggestion is that Cleo was taken to a town of Calbari, some 5 hours away, and may have passed through the suburb of Meekatharra, which is 670 kilometers to the southeast. And then it says here that the cops were scouring through hours of CCTV footage from a roadhouse 165 kilometers north of the campsite, as it's the only northbound road and records every vehicle that passes through. Police have not ruled out the possibility Cleo may have been taken across state borders. Detectives from the WA Police Homicide Squad, as well as forensics and local detectives, are investigating her disappearance. So obviously, let me open up this picture. So obviously, this red dot is what I am assuming is the campground, which seems to match to the Google Maps that we did. So this is basically the roads out, I guess. So this is the campground, and they're saying that the road, basically the only 4 places you could ride out in this area are Onslow, Tom Price, Meekatharra, and Calbari. And then it shows you which way they could have gone and where it is on the map. Let me look at chat real quick before we watch this video. This is why Matt needs Discord. One sec, guys. One hour ago. Thank you, Matt. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. What is he looking for?
I think that's the campfire they were taking samples from.
A forensic officer sifts through soil and ash in an old campfire at the Blowholes. Oh, I know, but what would they be looking for in there? Police returned to Blowholes campsite where officers believe Cleo was abducted. All right, girl, you got this one? I have to mute so I can cough for a minute because, I tore my rib up. Sorry, guys. I got into a little accident in my car yesterday. I didn't physically hit a car, but I tensed up so hard that I pulled my left rib cage so bad that if I breathe too deep or if I cough or oh gosh, forget about it. If I sneeze, I feel like I'm crossing over to the other side. All right, let me mic down.
Western Australian police forensics officers have returned to the Blowholes campsite where Cleo Smith was last seen. The 4-year-old is believed to have been abducted from a tent while camping with her family at a remote campsite north of Carnarvon. Forensic investigators could be seen on Wednesday collecting soil samples from a number of campfires near the shacks in the area. And forensic officers have also gone back to the family's home in Carnarvon. They returned after spending several hours at the property on Tuesday. Look at that beautiful baby.
Is she
Another
not
little Paw
the
Patrol
is she
fan.
not the cutest thing? Wait, let me
Acting-
save this. Wait 1 second, hon. Let me save this
Yeah.
picture to my Cleo folder. Okay.
Acting Police Commissioner Colonel,
Colonel. I'm only kidding. It's
Colonel,
probably Cole.
I have no idea. Colonel Blanche said Cleo's parents had been cooperative. I must be very clear so that people don't make assumptions on this, he said. This is a standard practice of any investigation. We must do a thorough investigation. The parents have been nothing but helpful. We worked very closely with them.
See, I don't know if I agree with that. If you are convinced that the child was taken from the campground, then why are you outside thinking that there's a peeper tom in the kid's window? I mean, I've never heard of that in the States. Well, that would have been like them going back to after Gabby was found and them not knowing Brian did anything. God forbid, let's reverse the fact that whatever, and them fingerprinting the outside of the laundry's house to see if somebody was stalking them. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
Let me save this picture real quick.
Like people are saying, maybe it's so the parents don't get scared. I can appreciate that.
I mean, I agree with that, but I think that would freak me out more if you're going to come start taking fingerprints around my house thinking that this whole time there's been a peeping Tom watching my baby. All right, let me mic down.
They've let us into their home, let us into their cars, phones, everything. That's a normal part of the investigation. We must follow it thoroughly. Information was still being sought about a car that was last seen during the early hours of the same morning Cleo was reported missing. If anyone saw car movements at or around 3 a.m. heading south on the coastal highway from Blowholes Road, that is one of our investigation areas on focus. So it's not to say that we're saying that it is the person, but certainly driving around at 3 a.m. coming out of there would pique our interest. Acting Commissioner Blanche said it was important to have hope that Cleo could be brought home. Western Australian police also have renewed their plea for businesses in Carnarvon to provide them with any CCTV footage recording in the days surrounding the disappearance of Cleo on Saturday, October 16th. A spokesman said a lot of footage has been provided, but he said detectives knew there was a business in Carnarvon businesses that were not yet offering up their footage. Anyone else who was in that area at the time is also urged to hand over video footage to police. Cleo's case was raised in the federal parliament, with Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews saying that the government was strengthening their laws to give agencies greater scope to act in the case of crimes against children. The AFP and federal agencies will always be ready to support the work of state police forces when it comes to crimes against children, and they are currently doing that in the case of 4-year-old Cleo Smith, who disappeared from a campsite in Western Australia. Our thoughts are with the family, and I can assure them that the advanced capabilities of the federal law enforcement are being deployed to aid the local efforts to find Cleo. Opposition leader Anthony Albanese said he supports the efforts to the government to give police more powers to combat crimes against children. Along with the rest of the House and the rest of Australia, we all want to see young Cleo found safely, he told Parliament.
So this must be Cleo's house.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm going to have to find their house, but not in this video. But I want to go look after we read this and watch the video. I'm curious to go see if there's anything new on this little Twitter feed that I found with her. If anyone's, that's the end of it. If anyone's putting anything out there about little inside information, and that's just what they're looking for. Let's see where this portal link takes us.
Xtina says Cleo was never at that campsite. Lies.
Submit evidence. Let me go back to let me touch on some comments for a second. What was that letter though? Real fast, 1 second. Investigation into missing child reported 10/15/2021, 1800 hours. Oh, look at we after all that figuring it out with the whale hole, blowhole, whale blowholes. It is Quabba blowholes. I knew we got it right. Police are urgently searching. So if I cool it, oh, then you can put evidence. Then it's like your name, your middle name, birth date. I need to take a trip to Australia before I die. So it was the Quabba. Let's go down here and see something. So if they left Quabbas and they're showing them going towards Macleod on that road, I mean, it doesn't look like there's too many roads in. You think Google? Oh, look at this. Google's been here. Oh, I love. Oh, look at this. We can totally maybe. Oh, let me share my screen because we are at the campground. God, I love road trips. Yeah, I couldn't do this terrain. I think I would last for about an hour.
That reminds me of my husband's place in Colorado.
So we can't go that way. So that's leaving the beach. 1 second. Let me see where the north is. So let me see if we can. It's like the little red. Yeah, so you can't get further than that. Let me go back for 1 second. Let's get back down there again. Let this load. Let me see if I can get right there. Perfect. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get to the ocean. As you can see, the ocean is right there. Can I go? Nope. Yeah, see, you can't get back there. So here's Blowhole Road. What does that say? I mean, aren't there like big sharks in this water? I mean, I know there are sharks everywhere, but isn't this like where people get eaten by sharks like all the time?
I would say Sydney, but I don't know about that part.
Let me see if I'm trying to find that little dent where they were at, which seems to be right about here. They've got the aquarium. And here's Quabba Blowholes right there. Let's see if we can get down here on maybe Beach Road. Oh. Yeah. Matt, I can't watch you. I can't watch YouTube, Matt, on my channel.
He said that link shows the campsite.
I know, but I have to 1 sec, Matt. I think we're at the campsite. What is that? Is that like a water station?
The way I went into it was kind of different.
Into what?
The beach view.
Okay, here is 1 second. This is the campsite right here. See the parking? See Beach Road?
Yeah, if you go down a
you
little to the right.
Yeah, see, I can't get down any further. I can show pictures, but I can't get down to, let me see what happens when I click this. Yeah, it's just going to show pictures. But that's the campsite right here. Quabba Blowholes. This looks like the parking, some type of parking. And that's the road out, all the way down to where they live in Macleod. I'll find you guys some pictures. Hang on one second. Let's go check out the campsite. You know what? Let me play though, real quick. Let's look at the parents' interview. This last one, I think this was from yesterday. Now it's from Spotlight 7. If this Spotlight 7's going to be mean to me, I'm going to scream.
We're hoping that.
Love Spotlight 7.
We're hoping.
Wow, 27 seconds. I don't know. After watching that,
I don't think it showed for us.
I need to find that whole interview. It's probably on 7. Let me go back and answer some questions. Let me see if I can find that whole video. I don't know. That one's only 27 seconds. Hang on, guys. It was a teaser. We can't even deal with that. Hang on. Let me show you guys. That to me, I don't know. I don't know if they really seemed I don't know. He looks a little.
We're hoping that by being here.
You think so, Benton?
For me, it just feels like the way she's looking at him. Are you pleading with him?
He looks a little distraught, in my opinion. Let me find the full video. 1 second, guys. I can see those roads out of here, though. I mean, it's 4 roads to get out. There's got to be something, and they're looking for one car because they found it weird that they came out at 3 a.m. in the morning. Maybe that was the parents in a different car taking Cleo somewhere. One second, guys.
I definitely get the Boswell vibes.
I don't want to get in trouble for streaming this, though.
That look. That look is a look that can only happen by a roaring fire at a
I think if you double the speed, that it kind of messes up the algorithm, so it won't catch it.
I'm not going to play the music. I'm going to keep the music off just so we can just get a look at the campsite real quick. It's definitely beautiful. I mean, I don't know if I would go in that water because of sharks. Would you go swimming in that water? I'm far from lazy. I might go swimming on my back, like, like just like do like water angels, like snow angels, just so but with my luck, a big old 16-foot great white would just like jump up and snatch me right off the beach. Hi, Tina. Ex Tina. I saw Brown's Mermaid. Hello, Brown's Mermaid. Welcome back. So it is beautiful, right? It honestly looks like a place that Gabby would have loved. I'm not saying that to be sad. I'm just saying she seemed to like that real dry desert type of no greenery type places. You agree with that?
Oh, very much. Because the dunes, she seemed to like those.
Look at these little places. That would be so much fun for a week. So it looks like you can either rent a beach shack or bring your little caravan or you can pop a tent. What do you mean if you were hot, Benson? You don't want to go cruise around the campgrounds wearing a thong? Come on. What are those, the bathrooms? I'm good. Look at how cute those little beach shacks are. And they say that you can get some really good was it oysters around here? I'm gonna fast forward. I don't want to get a copyright strike for this, guys. But I am going to put this link down below in the description. And when you think about the area too, like if she was around that area with as far as it being so open, are there kangaroos in this area? Or hyenas?
Dingoes.
Riri, that would be my luck as well. Yeah, great white would just come up and be like doing one of those little air jumps to get a seal, except for it would like do like a nose dive onto the beach and eat me and then just slide back in the wave into the water. But if the helicopter went up, that's actually kind of cool. Shacks, cabins, and shacks. So that's where she went missing from. I don't know, Matt, if that was the video that you sent me, but I cannot copy links off of StreamYards. So there's the link to the video we just watched that I fast forward through. Now let me check on one more thing real quick, guys. Let me look at comments for a minute. Mom said she tucked Cleo's sleeping bag into the mattress on Flashpoint interview to make sure they stay warm. Flashpoint where? JS. Ex Tina, Wendy, I saw a guy wearing a Jaws t shirt at the beach the other day. I actually live where I live, it looks like the town where the original Jaws was filmed. Flashpoint interview, is that on YouTube? Where was the where is the Flashpoint? Because I would like to see the latest full interview. You heard of that Flashpoint interview?
I think Matt just linked it.
Matt's not understanding what I'm saying to him. Hang on, Matt. Hang on. Let me open it up on my phone, and then let me
JS said
find.
try Google.
And then let me find it in my. I got it, guys. I'm gonna open it on my phone, and then I'm gonna go and find it in my history. One sec. Oh yeah, look at Mama's face here. What? I'm in a good mood today. I feel like singing, and I can't even sing, guys. Just ignore me. I got it. Guys. My internet boyfriend Matt, we're legally married on YouTube. Even though he's a pain in my ass some days. Okay, so perfect. It's a news station. I can listen. I can watch it. Okay. Let me go to my history. I don't know, like this picture to me, the mom. I mean, she looks like she's a pretty girl. She looks happy, right?
She does.
But why does he? Maybe he just has those little sad looks. He actually kind of looks like a little chunkier Ed Norton to me. What did Wendy say? I never let my kids watch Jaws. It's PG, but I stuck it in the section. It's so cheesy. When you watch it now, he looks like a big robot. All right, let's watch this interview, guys. And after this interview, I am going to wrap it up. But I am going to look more. I'm going to go find where Cleo's house was and all of that. And we're going to send Matt on an airplane to the neighborhood to get us some really good on the boots on the ground footage. Some things doesn't sit right with me. Like, I can't imagine if there's CCTV in those shacks and people have little cameras and whatever. I mean, think about it. You're going to open up a tent and you are going to take a child out of the tent in a sleeping bag. How do you know that when you unzip that tent that the parents aren't going to be sitting there like awake? How do you know that she's not going to scream? It's just it's so it's yeah, something is a very not adding up in my mind. I just don't see that.
Hey, what's out there?
Hey, what's out there, my papa? Yeah, Matt lives in the UK. Okay, so let's watch this video, guys. It's Cleo Smith. Oh, it's 19 minutes long too, guys. So let me mic down. Let's go ahead and check this out. And then after the 19-minute video, let's go ahead and talk about what we think about the parents' demeanor.
Mom's
Hey, Monkey, I think we're having some issues. I think you have to play at double the speed.